Hey guys, how's it going? Thank you guys so much for joining me on my second lesson on palmistry. Now, if you haven't watched my previous video on the lines and the mounds and the fingers, please go watch it. It will help you a lot in this lesson. Now, what I want you guys all to do is to sit down somewhere quiet. I want you to take a deep breath, maybe even make a coffee or even a glass of wine, maybe a tea or a water or a juice or whatever you like. Get a pen and paper and let's get ready for the lesson. So today what I'm going to be focusing on is the most important line of the entire poem. It's the most asked about line of the entire poem, and it's the lifeline. Now, no, it does not determine the length of your life, but it does determine the quality of your life. So we're going to be talking about that today. Now, I am going to be using some examples. I have asked permission for all of these examples. These are people that have sent their images to me, and I've actually, because I do poem reading, of course, which I will put in my bio, a link to the website. But yeah, these are people that have sent me their poems, and I've read them for them, and yeah, it's been great. So as we can see, this is the first example. Now, this is a perfect lifeline. When we first look at a lifeline, we look at it as a whole. Let's just look at the quality of it, the length of it, the curve of it. So I'm showing you this as the first example because this is the most perfect lifeline you can ever get. It's long, it's perfectly curved, as you can see. There aren't that many islands. There are a few in the childhood. I am guessing this person had a tough childhood. There are some stress lines, however, we're not really talking about that in this episode or lesson. I hate saying episode. The length, as I said, is perfect. So this type of line shows a very fulfilled life. This person has clearly established their purpose in life and they're just living it. It's just a beautiful line. Now, when we look at the quality, what I mean by quality is how deep it is. Now, I will show you other examples and you guys can help me determine what type of lifeline they have. So let's put this one to the side for now. Okay, so what do you guys think of this lifeline? Do you see anything strange? If you said the split in the life, you are correct. Now, yes, it is a great long lifeline. However, as we can see here, there's a split. What do splits in lifelines usually mean? So when there's a split in the lifeline, it means that something really big has happened. It doesn't mean like you've moved like next door or something. It means something really big has happened and it has changed the path of your life. Now, this person, I straight away said, I'm like, you had a big move in your teens. I said maybe even around 15. It's very hard to determine the exact age, but I could tell it was before adulthood because adulthood would be around here. Okay, that's adulthood. That would be around 18. This is not 18. And this female, she confirmed with me, she moved to another country and her parents also got divorced. So obviously this was a big life change and it split her lifeline and it just went in a different direction. And another thing that we do need to talk about is these things over here. These are called guardian angel lines and basically they're protections. Let's look at another example. What do we think of this lifeline? Now, as you can see, earlier on in life, there were issues. There were some serious issues. Now, if you were to zoom in, what does this just, you can just straight away see the quality of the line here, like from stopping here in this region, compared to the quality of the line in this region, okay? So this is clearly issues over here, whereas here it's just nice and perfect. And look at even the stress lines, there's no stress lines even intercepting her lifeline. Now, as you can see here, this is a guardian angel, this is a protector. So if you have a look at the amount of stress lines on this side compared to the amount of stress lines on this side, what do you guys see? less. There's less here because these lines here, they're protectors. They're either ancestors or someone that's died that loves us and they're protecting us. So it's almost like they're filtering out like a lot of these lines, which is kind of incredible. Like you can even see this line, it doesn't even intercept the lifeline. It's not even having an impact on it. Someone with this type of palm, I do recommend them to do some mindful meditation. Now let's look at another example. What does this palm look like in general? It's very soft, it's very airy, very watery too. Now let's look at the lifeline. What does the lifeline look like? It's very faint. It's almost non-existent. Now, there are 3 reasons why someone can have a lifeline like this. The first reason and the biggest reason, which I often find with a faint lifeline, I'm not talking about a short, the faint lifeline like this female over here, this is usually a lack of purpose in life. You will never ever have a lifeline deep if you have or established a purpose in life. The thing with the line on palms is they're all changeable. Everything's changeable. You just need to know what you need to change, and that's why palm reading is so important. Now, I said to her, I'm like, you have a lack of purpose in life. And I said, you need to establish this purpose, otherwise this line will not change. And she agreed with me. She said, yes, you're right, like I don't really have a very strong sense of purpose. I think with this one, it had something to do with her career. Now, her career wasn't established yet. Now, career is obviously a big part of someone's life, and it really establishes their purpose in life. I do believe as she begins working on her career, this line should really strengthen and become a lot deeper. At the moment, it is really all over the place. Okay, now this is a very interesting palm. This palm actually belongs to someone I know. Now, I never had actually looked at her palm before, but I knew that she moved around a lot because she's actually from the country that I live in, Australia. She moves a lot. She goes from state to state to state, and that's just how she is. There's really nothing wrong with it. So this line is called the Gypsy's line, and for obvious reasons it's called the Gypsy line because it's very short, and these people tend to not really have a home. And it's not a bad thing, it's just these people just really like to adventure. A lot of gypsies have this type of lifeline. As we can see, it's very, very short. It's not even, this does not mean this person's going to die young. It just means that they move around a lot, and there's nothing wrong with that. So you do need to establish what it is, and that's why it's so important to read the entire palm. Okay, this is a very interesting lifeline. The reason it's so interesting is because it goes into the area of Luna. Now, someone with this type of, sorry, I'm the worst drawer. Usually lifelines do this. Okay, her one goes all the way to the Mount of Luna. Someone with this line has a huge personality. They love to travel, they love to adventure. And there's really nothing wrong with this line at all. The biggest issue would probably be if someone had a line like this. This is a very introverted lifeline. So as we can see from all of these examples, can we all see how perfect this is compared to, say, this? Which there's nothing wrong with this, but it's just not the ideal. We want a sense of security, we want a sense of home. And this person, I do believe, once they really settle down in a home and they stay there for a while, because at the moment this person is moving around still to this day. I think when they really live somewhere for a while and make it their home, they will see an extension on this, which is very interesting. So yeah, as we said, let's quickly summarize. Splits usually mean a change in path. Chains and islands are usually not good because it means there's a difficulty or there's a slowing down. Islands usually mean a slowing down period. This is an island if it was complete, but it's not. This is a treble. There's more treble. So if this was like this, and like this, and like this, oopsies, that would be an island. Islands are usually periods of time where it's kind of like a recovery in a sense. As I said, all lines on the palm can be improved. So please don't freak out, and please don't think that you are going to die young or anything like that. Now, another thing I wanted to talk about, and this is the last thing I wanted to talk about. So the lifeline obviously is your vitality, it's the quality of your life, it's your energy levels. So if you have a lifeline like this, I would assume 2 or 3 things. One reason is the lack of purpose, which I've already mentioned. Number 2 is having a short lifeline. This person over here is usually a person that moves around a lot. And the third reason, which I didn't really talk about, is a lack of energy, fatigue. This is something you can also see on the lifeline. If someone has a very faint lifeline, they usually lack energy. And this usually comes from lack of purpose. If we don't really have a purpose in life, then everything else is going to be an issue, including our energy. We're just not going to have the drive, we're not going to have the ambition, we're not going to have the motivation to really continue on with life. This is definitely something that needs to be worked on. Now, in the next video, I will be talking about the headline and splits in the headline and all of those types of things. So just to quickly summarize, chains are not good. They mean that there's going to be difficulties. Islands means there's going to be a slowing down period. I often find with females, when they're having a child, you will see a little bit of an island on whatever part of their life they are in, excuse me. And yeah, so I hope you enjoyed this lesson. I hope you guys join me for the next video, which is going to be on the headline. And yeah, we'll talk about that. Thank you guys so much for joining me. I hope you really like all of my plants. Did I tell you guys I bought an olive tree? And this is probably my favorite at the moment. I'm also painting all of my pots white because I want more of like a white theme around here. And yeah, I feel like this is already grown. But anyway guys, have a lovely day and take care. And yeah, I'll see you guys on my TikTok. If you guys want your palms red, please head down into the bio. I will have a link in the bio on how to do that. So take care and all the best guys. Bye bye.